Good morning, everybody. Unfortunately, also not able to be with you because of the strike. I hope that we will have another occasion to meet soon in person. So I'm going to project my screen. Tell me if you can see it properly. Okay, and it works. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, I would like to tell you a short story that happened to me 25 years ago. I was coordinating a project funded under the third or the fourth framework program, so a long time ago, really. And being the coordinator, I was working for the municipality of Rome. Uh, we the municipality was supposed to take the advance of the funding and distribute this advance among the partners. And one day I received a call from the treasury office of the municipality, telling me, asking me, "Are you Francesco Bellini?" Yes, I am. Um, we received some money for you. Uh, and I said, "For me?" Yes, because these are 2 millions, and you have to tell us where I have to transfer the money. Uh, and I said, "Are you sure of this?" Because probably there is written something else on the paper that you have. Yes, there is a name, Mieta. Mieta at that time was still a singer in Italy. But Mieta actually was the name of the project. So the guy that received the transfer didn't want to write all the information that was in the with the transfer that was referring to the project. It was called Mieta with the number and so on and so forth. So basically, the money was for Francesco and Mieta. I don't know why. Uh, and this is an example about how much is needed the IT enforcement for managing the EU funds. And I can notice that there is still a strong effort that is done still manually in managing the documentation of the project. Even 25 years are passed. So let's go to the. Let me. Okay. So these are recent news that I found out, and this was really 27th of January. This was about a fraud on EU uh, funding that were aimed to uh, improve the quality of wildlife in the Danube in Romania. And basically, here the fraud was about the falsification of the documentation for receiving the matching funding for demonstrating the capability of the beneficiaries to put the matching funding. Uh, Another fraud was this was uh, came into the news last year was on the funds of the recovery fund, and the interesting thing uh, in this case was that the fact that the gang was using the artificial intelligence for falsification of the document for generation of invoices, false invoices. Another important fraud that is not related actually to the EU funds, but the way how was generated was the false email coming from a false account that was supposed to be the account of the boss of the company, an important Italian company, asking for a payment of $17 million. The payment actually was done, and the money disappeared in a few hours. So this is for saying that the reality is really complex, you know, and there are so many ways uh, uh, through which the frauders can act. So let's start looking at the mm, taxonomy of the financial fraud. That, of course, is not a, a building block, but is something that is moving ahead, is changing. But actually, the it's really important to understand the different classify the different types of fraud in order to create effective countermeasures. One of the most prevalent types of fraud is application fraud, which involves submitting false or misleading information to obtain the financial benefits. And this can include forging documents, inflating costs, or claiming funding for non existing projects. The ability to manipulate official records poses significant challenges in fraud detection. Closely related is corruption and collusion, where individuals exploit financial systems by engaging in bribery or manipulating contacts in order to unfairly secure funds. In such cases, officials or decision maker may abuse their position to benefit themselves or their associates, making it difficult to detect fraud through traditional oversight mechanisms. Another widespread issue is the misuse of funds, where recipients use allocated financial resources for purposes other than those intended. Often, this misappropriation is for personal enrichment or unauthorized activities, which not only distorts financial distribution, but also erodes public trust in financial systems. Another kind of typology of fraud is the conflict of interest that represents a particularly insidious form of fraud, uh, because this occurs when individuals responsible for funds allocation have a direct or indirect personal stake in the decision-making process. This form of misconduct can significantly influence financial allocation, skewing resources in favor of selected individuals or organizations. Additionally, money laundering is a key concern, wherein criminals use financial transactions, of course, this includes public funds, in order to legitimize illicit earnings. And by integrating dirty money into legitimate financial streams, perpetrators can effectively disguise their unlawful activities, and this poses a challenge for the regulators and the enforcement agencies. Another critical area is in management and reporting, where intentional or due to negligence or failure to comply with the regulations and reporting requirements can create loopholes, for fraudulent activities to flourish. In many cases, fraudulent actors exploit weak oversight mechanisms to manipulate reports, making it harder to trace financial discrepancies. Lastly, in this taxonomy, are transnational frauds that highlight uh, the complexities of fraud schemes that may extend across multiple jurisdictions. So criminal networks take advantage of differing legal systems and regulatory frameworks across countries in order to evade detection and making international cooperation becomes essential for combating financial fraud effectively. So, which are the challenges of fraud detection? Fraud detection, as you know, is an intricate process that is due to the interrelated nature of fraudulent activities and also the limitations in the information systems, and also due to the uh, fast evolving regulatory landscapes. One of the primary challenges lies in identifying the real beneficiaries behind transaction, because fraudsters often employ complex ownership structures in order to obscure the involvement. Similarly, limitation information systems hinder the comprehensive monitoring, as current frameworks may be not sufficiently equipped to detect more sophisticated fraudulent schemes. Uh, Moreover, there are concerns about the effectiveness of the feedback-based procedures that are often constrained by bureaucratic inefficiencies and compliance procedures and their associated costs can be somehow burdensome, deterring the entities from engaging in a proactive fraud detection. Another significant issue is the presence of false alerts. No? And for example, we will discuss further about artificial intelligence, but artificial intelligence driven fraud detection systems sometimes generate excessive false positive, leading to wasted, of course, investigative resources. Uh, Lastly, but really important, is the reliability of data sources. In IT, we used to say garbage in, garbage out, and the reliability of data sources remain a major concern because fraudulent actors continually evolve their tactics to manipulate the financial records, complicating efforts to ensure the data accuracy. How to go further? As fraud techniques grow more sophisticatedly, the next step in combating the frauds involved a shift from traditional information systems to the so-called decision support system that can analyze really big streams of financial data in real time. Uh, the challenge is now to uh, identify the criminal organization and the fraudulent schemes before they can cause substantial financial damages. And of course, in this case, there is a need, and I think this is also the spirit of the Threat 2 and the forthcoming project, to have a multidisciplinary approach that integrates artificial intelligence, forensic accounting, and network analysis, for example, to examine large data sets and identify the fraud patterns in an efficient manner. So let's go to this was the slide actually. Let's go to see which are the techniques for fraud detection. Uh, we start from in the approach from data analytics and data that, as I said, play a crucial role because here we can enable a vast the analysis of a vast volume of financial transaction, and in order to understand which are the partners, and also to being capable to take preventive measures before the the financial damage occurs. Then we have machine learning and artificial intelligence, of course, that have revolutionized the fraud detection through the continuous learning from historical data. And unlike the traditional, let's say, rule-based system, AI-driven models improve over time, recognizing emerging trends and adapting the detection capabilities. So by analyzing these complex data sets, machine learning can flag unusual transaction, reducing the manual intervention and improving efficiency in identifying fraud activities. Another important building block of this framework is about blockchain. Blockchain, for example, could be really effective for the anti-money laundering purposes and for the identification of the final beneficiaries. No, and blockchain also has important features of security due to the decentralized and immutable nature of recording, but also the introduction of smart contracts in the management of EU funds can be really helpful for reducing the intervention and the possibility to from third parties to uh, break the security of transactions. Another important approach is the network analysis in order to allow the investigators to map the relationships between entities that are involved in financial transactions. And by visualizing connections, network analysis can reveal hidden patterns of collusion, no? Uncovering more complex fraudulent schemes that operate across multiple organizations or jurisdictions. Another important block is the RD, and we will see after during the day the forensic accounting tools, that are instrumental in conducting in-depth financial investigation. This tool helps auditors and investigators to scrutinize the financial record, identify the discrepancies, and detecting potential case of misappropriation or embezzlement. Through these advanced methods, forensic accounting provide insights that support compliance and legal proceedings. Another important block is the one of the risk assessment software, that use predefined criteria and predictive modeling in order to assess the likelihood of the fraud and allowing the organization to prioritize high risk cases for further scrutiny. And this allows also to streamline the investigative process, allocating the resources more efficiently. Finally, really important for transnational frauds are the collaborative platforms that facilitates the real-time information sharing among the financial institutions, the regulatory bodies, and the law enforcement agencies. This platform so enable cross-border cooperation and strengthen the collective ability to detect and mitigate fraud at the global scale. So we talk about this, but these are just example. And this is the band for law that will be discussed more in depth later on. Risk assessment software, the collaborative platform. So, which are the steps for identifying the frauds? This is a process that requires a systematic approach that involves multiple data sources, as we said, analytical techniques, and also visualization tools. In order to do that, we have to start with gathering data from different sources, and also the variety of the sources is an issue, of course, because we have unstructured and structured data sets. So social media platform such as X, Facebook may provide, for example, insights about fraudulent trends, but these are unstructured, while business register and open data repositories can be essential tools for verifying company ownership and financial disclosures. Moreover, tax and banking system database help in tracking the financial transactions, while news providers and financial intelligence agency offer critical updates on emerging fraud schemes. So collectively, these input channels provide a broad spectrum of information that is crucial for identifying the irregular activities. Then the second step is the study of stylized fact. So once data is collected, analysts may study the patterns of fraudulent behaviors, and this may happen according to different dimensions, including countries, sectors, individuals, and the process then aims to defining a time window for analyze the historical data, structuring the information based on the relevance of the topic and the country and the sector itself. And this activity, can be a kind of zooming in and out on these dimensions. The outcomes of this analytical phase include the generation of alerts, the mapping of ownership structure of beneficial owners, and uncovering the complex network of individuals and companies that are engaged. To ensure this detection, some analytical methods and tools are, for example, the cross-lingual data extraction to identify frauds across multiple languages and jurisdiction, the multilingual semantic analysis for identifying keywords and patterns that are indicative of frauds, the supervised and knowledge-based machine learning models that are capable to improve the fraud detection accuracy. And as we say, the network analysis techniques in order to visualize, the connection and the distribution. And all these tools are coupled, have to be coupled with output and visualization tools in order to create comprehensive reports that are tailored to specific topics, sectors, companies, individual. So graphical visualization represents a really important tool for putting in evidence, the schemes and the subjects. So, mm, going to the conclusions. Uh, the next steps are to go beyond the formal controls and deploy the power of big data analytics through a multidisciplinary approach. And important is to be capable, following the Rumsfeld law, to discover the so-called the unknowns. So the fraudulent tactics that are not yet been identified or classified. And this can happen by continuously refining our detection models and try to stay ahead of the fraudsters that are already working on this field, as we have seen in a very efficient manner. And this is for creating for us a resilient scheme of defenses against these frauds. So I'm finished. Thank you. I don't know if there are questions.